let me know. All right, here we go. Hey everybody, sorry about earlier technical difficulties. The first time it was my fault because the stream is late this time because of Google. But the first time I just didn't hear me, I didn't see us. Here we go. Okay, now it's freaking working because I'm hearing myself on the playback, and I look crazy. My hat is all sideways and whatnot. Joseph, why you didn't tell me my hat's on crazy? See, this is why I have a mirror, because men don't tell you you look crazy and shit like that. Anyway, okay, check it out. We are working. Everything's working and everything in order. So let's go ahead and get started. If anybody can go tell people in the old chat that this is the new chat. This is the live stream. I'm sorry, my apologies. It was just a lot of technical difficulty. I couldn't hear myself, and now I can hear myself perfectly on this stream. So this is Tree, and I have my buddy Joseph. Joseph, say hi to everybody.
Hello, everyone. Good to be here.
Okay, so check this out. Joseph and I are going to review the movie Dear White People. I got to tell you a little backstory to this, okay? All right. So if you all don't remember, Joseph is the guy who is going to appear on my live stream. When was that? Was that 2 or 3 weeks ago, Joseph?
3 weeks ago.
Okay. So 3 weeks ago, he was going to appear on my live stream in reference to white people obsession of what racist blacks. And his mic wasn't working. And I thought that he's so knowledgeable. I'm very intelligent. I'm not kissing your ass, by the way, Joseph. I'm just saying, you just
continue.
Very, very intelligent guy who's anonymous on my Twitter. So I didn't know he was young. And when I talk on my Twitter and when I'm, trying to express my concerns in reference to my subscribers, he comes to me with a logical point of view, which will always get me every time. And I was like, yo, would you like to come on a stream with me? And it didn't work out. And so we ended up doing the recording, but it's only for my personal website. I was so impressed with the way he educated me, but also informed me, and is very intelligent. I said, so I sent him a tweet, a private tweet, and I said, hey, Joseph, let's do the review on Dear White People, because everybody was losing their fucking minds about this fucking movie. And he was like, did you see it? I said, no, let's just talk about people's reaction to the trailer. Let's watch the trailer, and then let's talk about people's reaction to it. He's like, no, I want to watch the movie. I was like, oh my God, that's such the white thing to do. No. And then he said, no. He said, I'm going to go watch it because I want to make sure I know what I'm talking about. And I was like, fuck, that means I got to go watch it. And so I want to say, Joseph, I'm glad you did the white thing, which is the right thing, because now that I've seen the movie, I was like, oh, it's very cringeworthy, but this is what we're going to do. I'm going to give my impression on it. Then I'm going to get you. And then I took a lot of notes. So then we're going to, by the way, if you've never seen the movie and you want to see it, you may not want to watch this recording because we're going to spoil the hell out of this movie. We're going to go and tell all the scenes, the storyline. We're going to talk about the characters and everything. And then we're just gonna. This recording is gonna be full of spoilers. So let me give my opinion on the movie, and then Joseph, and then we're gonna just go through it from beginning to end. So here's my impression of the movie. I know I can see how white people can be insulted, but to my surprise, I was more insulted as a black woman than I was for white people. Now, normally when I watch Dear White People bullshit, when I watch white people propaganda, I go like, oh, goddamn, they fucking up white people bad. But this shit was fucked up for everybody. This is I was like, how come no black person is like, what the fuck? And I'm gonna justify why I said this, because for me, I thought that this was going to be more pronounced on white people. But in my opinion, there were more storylines on black people. And for this to be, for Winchester University to be a predominantly white white university, there was nothing but Negroes there. I was like, this was so unrealistic. It was very it was actually condescending. It was very belittling to white people, but most of all, in my opinion, more to black people, derogatory. I mean, it was insulting to me. It's a dumb fucking movie. But I was like, nah, white folks, this is y'all shouldn't really be that upset. I think we should be more upset than this. But that's my opinion. What do you think, Joseph?
I actually kind of like the movie for the simple reason that it was a clickbait title, and everyone's response was exactly as you expect. No black person freaking out because of it.
Yeah.
I think everyone who was freaking out has no reason to.
I agree with that. I actually.
And all the white stereotypes that are negatively about it has nothing to do with anyone who's a Trump supporter. It is all rich, wealthy, liberal douchebags. So I have no problem with the cringeworthy racism against whites in the movie. It's exactly how I see rich, wealthy liberals. So, I had no problem with how they displayed white people.
This is going to be good because you get to give that point of view while I give the black point of view. Because I have to admit, I really didn't pay attention too much to, and you're right, these are white, rich liberals. That's all this is. And we already know that the blacks are already on the liberal team by default. Okay, just the way they were behaving, you know what I'm saying? Just the way they were acting. But I agree with you. This wasn't worth, this movie wasn't to be something that you should be outraged about.
Nope.
And I was saying to myself, like I said, I didn't like it because the storyline was weak. It was stupid. It was unrealistic to me as a black person. But it's like, to me, the movie was just, it was, in my opinion, poorly written. But I didn't. Now, when you see that, what was that? BuzzFeed? That wasn't BuzzFeed. That was MTV who did the whole Dear White People.
Yep.
Now, that shit was a little insulting to white people.
Oh, yes, it was.
You know, but this right here, yeah, it was just to me, it was dumb. But we'll talk about it. It's good that Joseph liked the movie and I didn't. So
for different reasons.
Yeah, you can probably.
I didn't think it was a good movie, like quality-wise.
Okay.
I think what they were doing was funny, and how everyone freaked out was funny.
Oh, I did laugh. Oh, I'm sorry. There was some fucking funny scenes in there. There was some fucking funny jokes in there, like when the white guy. Now I don't know any of the white characters' names. That should show you how much I gave a fuck about them, because their storylines were small. But with the spoiled white kid who's the son of that dean,
son of the president. Yep.
Yes, son of the president. He stood up and said, he was like, what the black people were like, well, why are you here in our hall eating? He was like, well, he said, this is the only place where I can have some chicken with my waffles.
Yeah. He's one of the few characters who isn't racist in the entire movie.
Yeah, exactly.
He's literally just an ass to everyone.
And I think that's what's wrong with people. Don't know the difference between a racist and an asshole. Some people really think that white people who are assholes are racist, but they're not racist. They're just fucking assholes. If they were black, they still would be an asshole, but you're only calling them racist because they're white.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's only considered racist because the position he has. But if you look at it, his character is supposed to be like an up-and-coming SNL star. As soon as he went on SNL, he would no longer be considered a racist.
Right.
Because that's what his entire character is someone who's working to become someone on SNL who does skits. Yeah.
So, now, what is your opinion in reference to Well, is it me or did the white people did not have a huge storyline in it? What is your opinion on that?
None of the white people really were relevant at all, outside to show that they were like just blatantly racist every once in a while. Interaction. There are, like I said, there are only like 4 or 5 characters in the entire movie that aren't racist.
Yeah.
Everyone, every other character is racist.
Right.
Every one of them.
Right.
And each of the white characters that is racist in one particular way that is stereotypically considered racist.
Yes.
As a microaggression. And each of them highlights that one characteristic. Either the girl who's dating the white girl who's dating the main character, who's the son of the dean. She only goes out with a black guy because he's black, and she wants to be degraded by a black guy.
Oh my God, I can't wait till we get to that part of the scene. Yeah. I took huge notes for that one. I was like, okay. The whole, I want your big black cockman.
Yep. She's a coal burner, yeah.
Is that what they're called?
Coal burners, yeah.
Really? Yeah. I'm learning something every time. Okay, so here's how it starts off. All right, I'm going to tell you guys the characters because, like I said, the white characters, they were so minute and irrelevant. It was just they were not the main people you will see in this movie. You really don't give a fuck about them. To me, they were just inserted.
They were tertiary.
Right, exactly. So here's what it the story occurs at Winchester University, which is supposed to be a predominantly white elite or white. What would you call it? Would you think it's beneath Yale or more on?
It's supposed to be like a liberal, like private school. It's not Ivy League, but it's just underneath.
Okay.
So it's like Northwestern or Northeastern.
Okay.
So it's not quite Dartmouth, but it's almost there. But it's all rich kids.
All rich kids, and I think either rich black kids or black kids who got scholarships. But mostly.
Oh no, they're all wealthy. Every one of them is wealthy.
Oh really? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Look at the dorm rooms. They're multi-room apartments.
I know. I said I went to a historically black college. And I said to myself, my fucking dorm room didn't look like that shit. You know what I'm saying?
My apartment doesn't look like that right now. So, no, they have 3 and 4 roomed freshman apartments.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah. So
no,
Winchester is an elite. This is for rich people. Like my broke ass couldn't go to the school when I was going through undergrad. So here's the main characters that I got the names of, and the first one is Sam. Sam is the revolutionary woman. You know, she's the one who has the talk to the radio show on campus called Dear White People. She's supposed to be the lead character in the story. And, she's a half-breed, which is an insult to black people, but a half-breed is a derogatory term for someone who's half white, half black.
I know it was insult.
Yeah. And her father is white, and her mother's black, right, Joseph?
Yes, and all white people are racist. I love that.
Okay, and then the second lead is I hated this character. Lionel.
Yep.
Lionel, I hated. First of all, I hate the character. And I hate the actor who played the character. He sucked. Sucked. First of all, I don't believe he's gay in real life. I don't believe it. You can tell this was a heterosexual black man pretending to be gay for a fucking movie. Let me tell you something. I'm a hag, honey, and I can spot. I can spot a gay man as soon as I see him. Sometimes my radar is off when they're bisexual, but when they are heterosexual,
no such thing as a bisexual man.
Yes, there is.
Suck a dick. No.
Okay. Anyway, he was awful. He wore this, and Joseph, did you notice that was a fucking Afro wig, or did you think that was his real hair?
Oh, that's not his hair. That's definitely a wig.
Right. He had this awful looking Afro wig. It was awful. There's no way anybody could believe that this was his hair. He's supposed to be a nerdy, gay, black guy. Mm-hmm. I hated this fucking character. You'll see why as we come along, but he's the second storyline. And then you had Coco. Coco was the hood rat who's went from being in hood to posh. She's wearing all the designer clothes. She got the designer purse. You know, she's hanging with the white people, only with the rich white people. And, you know, she has this sedity, conceited attitude, but she's from the fucking, hold on.
South side of Chicago.
Hold on. Well, how the fuck did she get into college? Because she's not rich. So you don't think she got in there from affirmative action or some kind of scholarship?
I think wealthy. Barack Obama are from the South side of Chicago.
Say that again. Hold on. Say that again, Joseph. Your mic went out. Go ahead. Say that again.
Barack Obama and Michelle Obama are both from the South side of Chicago. Just because you live somewhere doesn't mean you're not wealthy.
Oh, okay. I thought all Chicago's fucked up.
No. Different parts of Chicago. Chicago's one of the wealthiest cities in the world, depending on what part of it you're from. So she may have been born in the shit area. That doesn't mean she's not wealthy.
Okay. Then I stand corrected.
She doesn't have a job, but she can spend hundreds of dollars while as a college student to buy high-end Indian hair.
Right, because that shit is not cheap.
No, I don't wear any of it. I'm not a woman, but I'm going to assume it's not cheap. So as a college student, she had that. College students go on the ramen diet. You eat ramen for 4 years.
Right, yes. We live on ramen
They are
noodles.
all wealthy. Look at all of their computers and all of their stuff, their parties. Everyone there is god-awful wealthy. Yeah,
exactly. So that's Coco, and then you have the other main character, and that's all that I'm gonna name, because you got other characters that come in too. Yep. But then you have Troy. Troy is the son of the dean of students, right? And I think the dean of students' name is Dean Fairbanks. So you have Dean Fairbanks, who's considered an Uncle Tom, and he's black.
He's married to a white woman.
Right. Man, and I'm about to touch on that shit too, about how how is it that blacks want to be power to the people, but you're having sex with the enemy? Well, how the fuck does that work? It's like all of these militant black people who got shit to say against white people have white mates. We're talking about Tariq Nasheed. We're talking about Francesca Ramsey. We're talking about Val Jones. We're talking about all these fucking people who have shit to say against white people, but yet still they have mates and spouses as whites. I'm like, if this don't show him, and actually this shit is displayed in this movie too. So let's go ahead and start with the first scene, okay? All right. The first scene starts off with them watching the documentary, or I think some the events that played out throughout the movie on, what would you say, that was a college TV show or what? They was watching.
That was a class project. That was Sam's class project. Right.
They was watching Sam's class project on TV, and I kid you not, within 10 minutes of the fucking show, we have Coco and Troy smoking weed. So automatically we have black people or weed heads. Not one person, and now please correct me if I'm wrong, did anybody white smoke marijuana in this show?
No.
Yeah. So niggas
are all against it. White people are against drug use in college.
Niggas are weed heads, according to the show.
Yep.
Because even when Troy, when Troy's he was gonna break, he broke up with her, but even when his white girlfriend was seeing him go into the bathroom, she says, "Why do you always go into the bathroom and stand there long?" And he says, I smoke marijuana and
write jokes.
And write jokes. And she found that disgusting, which
Yep.
I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, so do you think that's unrealistic saying liberals don't smoke marijuana?
No, I think that was not to say liberals don't smoke weed. It's to say that she wanted the image of a black guy, but not what actual black people are sometimes like. She wanted the facade, but not the actual person.
Okay.
So that's why her character was all offended when he was actually more than just a skin color. He actually had personal choice to make.
Right. Okay. So automatically, so here's where, so this is what I'm noticing. So like I said, I started to notice the stupidity and the stereotypes that this movie started playing on black people. Now, here we go, where they're going into, now, Joseph, you may have to explain this to me, because like I said, I went to a historical black college. This shit was foreign to me, where you have dorm rooms elect dorm presidents. Do you know what I'm talking about in that part of the movie where they all sit there and they start to vote? Can you explain that to the audience?
Yeah, in larger schools, larger white schools probably, housing will have like a single person that will throw events and will be your liaison for the students in that house. So I went to a liberal arts school full of white people who were wealthy, and we basically had, each floor had their own liaison. So we had our own resident advisor for that building, who you would go to if the bathrooms broke or if the heating shut down, and you would all go to that one person. So there wasn't 500 students crashing the dean. You'd only have the same people. It's a way to organize and reduce the amount of emails getting sent around. So you would all just pick someone to be your representative. Now,
this is what I found stupid about black people going to, or as their choice, to go to an all-white university.
Mm-hmm.
You want to be black, but you don't want to integrate with, you want to go to a white university, but you don't want to integrate with the entire campus. So you have a fucking campus that's dedicated to black people. So here we got segregation again. The same shit that's happening actually real time. This is something that Black Lives Matter and the SJWs have actually enforced. And I do believe Washington University was the first university to implement the segregated dorms, where this dorm is only exclusive to black people. And I'm saying, what the fuck did all our ancestors go through in the 60s to stop segregation, if stupid Negroes are going to now reinforce segregation, bring back Jim Crow, that thousands upon thousands of black civil rights activists have died for. Now y'all dumbasses are gonna bring that shit back? So I was like, what's with the segregation here, and where you have this black dorm? Now, apparently, there are some white people, I could be wrong, but there are a little speckles of white people that were still in there, residents
initially, they desegregated the housing because it was all black. And in the beginning of the movie, that's the whole argument why they want to have a new president of the house, because they desegregated it. So then black people were living in all different homes, and everyone was integrated. The militant black students didn't like this. They wanted to go to a white college, but have their own house where they could go to their own classes and do their own stuff. They wanted their own little safe space. So that's why they had the elections about.
And this is what pisses me off. If you want to be around nothing but black people, if you want to have nothing but black culture, why don't you take your black ass to a historical black college? I don't understand this shit.
Because they didn't want that. They wanted to make people uncomfortable. No, they wanted to make people uncomfortable. They wanted to be they want to be a rebel, but there is no fight, so they have to create it. A lot of people on the right often say that there's an issue with bigotry, that there's not enough of it. There's too many victims, but not enough predators. So the left has to create racism. It has to create the victim. So the militant blacks want to be oppressed, so they have something to fight back against. So they have to create segregation, so then they can fight against segregation.
Oh.
They're literally building their own prison so they can break out.
Okay. See, thank you, Joseph. See, I'm glad you're here because, see, like I said, this is foreign to me. I went to a historical my undergrad, my master's in my after that, my post undergrad was all into white schools, but I was not on the campus. I went to undergrad Fort Valley State University, which at the time it was 98% black. I think the other it was nothing but us Negroes at that college. Okay, and so that's my thing. Is like, this is foreign to me to watch this, and I'm thinking to myself, if you want to segregate yourself and you want to claim racism, what the fuck did you take why did you go to a white school? But your explanation explains a lot why they want to be victims. They purposely did this to be victims. I get it.
I watched this happen in when I was in school. My freshman year, a black girl wrote nigger all over the black students' doors and swastikas all over the Jewish kids' doors, so that there would be a problem on campus to prove that white people were racist. The problem was all the white kids were offended and started trying to find whoever did this to beat the shit out of the Nazi. Except there was no Nazi. It was a little black girl.
And isn't that strange? Because that shit happens as of right now. You have black people who are calling each other like pretending to be white, and they're also saying, "I'm going to kill you, niggas." And actually, one girl's in jail because of that, because she did that shit.
Oh no, my school they held a rally, like the H8, the hate rally, a rally against hate. I trolled the hell out of them, was laughing. They were having a hate rally. They didn't even understand the irony of it. No, they ended up burning dumpsters trying to find these guys. And then as soon as they found out it was a young black girl, it completely went quiet. They made one wing of one of the buildings for the African American, Latino, Native American, and Asian Student Coalition, where only they were allowed to go. Yeah, Alana, I think they call it. And it's for them to have their own space so they can escape the bigotry that they did to themselves and that white people at the school were offended by and tried to put an end to. Yeah. It became a huge joke. And no one took any. After that, no one took any of the complaints that any of the black kids were making serious, because they caused a race riot where white kids were beating the hell out of other white kids because they thought they could have been the Nazi.
Oh!
But no one was the Nazi. It was just some black girl causing problems to prove that white people are racist. But no one was.
Oh my God! Oh wow! Oh wow! Yeah. This is what happens when you call wolf too many times.
Yeah.
Which is what's happening right now.
Yeah, it's exactly what happened in the movie too. At the very end.
Yes.
The Sam character creates all the situation, and then goes, "See, they did exactly what I thought they were after I told them all to do this."
Right.
Jump.
Right.
Why'd you jump? You said jump. Yeah. No.
Oh God. So they're in the dorm room. About to elect their lead. What is that title again, Joseph?
It's a it's the residential advisor, or the RD, ED, whatever you want to call them.
Okay, so they're in there voting for this person, and here's another thing that black people don't fucking do. Now I have to say, even though I have never attended a predominantly white university as an undergrad, I know black people don't say that. Now, she said, and I wrote this shit down. I had to rewind it, Joseph, because she said they were all sitting there. She says, it's amazing that they want to have a door for colored people, but they don't want something colored people. She kept referring to black people as colored people. Black people never refer to themselves as colored people. You idiots! It was like. She gets on stage. She gets on stage and she refers to black people as black people. But when she's around her peers, she calls black people colored people. That never fucking happens. We may call each other niggas, we may call each other blacks, but we don't call each other colored. And I said to myself, who the fuck wrote this script? Okay, so anyway, that shit right there was just like, that's another thing that offended me, was the whole fact that she's supposed to be militant, and no militant black person referred to black people as colored people. That never fucking happens. That just shows me how out of touch this fucking movie was. So here it is. Troy gets up and he makes his speech. He gets down. Sam gets up. This is the half breed, by the way. She gets up and she makes her speech, and then they, which is technology, which is out of my touch. It was like they started to vote on their phones, right, Joseph?
All on iPads. Every student had an iPad. That's how they all voted.
Now that's very observant of you. I didn't notice that. I did not pay attention to that. iPads. That means that they can't. They not going the Android way. They went.
Oh, that's provided by the school. That's how they all
No
vote.
way.
That's how you know it's a rich kid school, because the school gives every student an iPad. If you watch when they walk around the campus, every kid has an iPad. So that's how they do their voting, is by the campus issued school. Did your school give you an iPad?
Hell no.
Right? Did your school give you a computer or a phone or any kind of technology just for going? No. Neither did mine. That's pure unadulterated rich kid, where the benefit of going is simply you get technology.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Mind blowing. Oh my God. Okay. So, all right. So now Sam won, and she's shocked that she won. Okay. Yep. And now she
didn't want to win.
Right. She didn't want to win.
She said she didn't want to win. She wanted to cause a fuss and then sit down and not have to do anything about it.
Here's my question, which is confusing to me. Yes, I caught the part where she said she didn't want to win. But here's my question. Because this was the segregated / now desegregated black dorm, what the fuck was the purpose of her running against another black guy? I couldn't understand that logic. That was straight, even though these are black people, because I have this thing. Yeah. There's a thing called blacks versus niggas. And here it is, she's going against another black person. So what was that all about, Joseph?
She dated him originally, and they're both half-breeds. And he was for desegregating the housing, and he was dating a white girl. She is a half-breed who dated him, so she doesn't like him, so she wants to put it back to all black. It's both jealousy and petty spite. That's all that was. That was just middle school drama playing out.
Oh God. Okay.
But she got caught up with the actual black kid who sits next to her, the secondary black kid.
Yeah, I didn't get his name. Right.
I didn't catch his name.
I didn't catch his name because he was his part was very small, and he was not really he was like a filler. We needed a bad guy to be the boyfriend of the militant black half-breed. Yes. Actually, I didn't even get the damn name of the white guy she was having sex with. So, but we'll get to that. Yeah. What was
I don't know his name. He's the TA. He's a teaching assistant. I know that, but I don't know who he is.
Now let me say this. Now, if white people should be insulted, maybe they should have been assaulted by him, because she treated him like a bitch.
Yeah. Now he's the second non-racist character that you see in the movie.
Yes. He's you kind of I felt sorry for him, actually. I felt sorry for him.
He genuinely wants black people to just be themselves and not worry about what everyone else thinks, and just be themselves and stop being militant for the sake of being militant, when there's really no one doing anything wrong to them. They're all privileged rich kids.
And he's the only white person, the white guy, who said, "Why are you messing your hair up like that to fit in? I was like,
Yeah.
ooh.
Mm-hmm.
He's a great character. I liked him. Actually, there's a couple of people, but he's the one I really like. Okay, so she won. She can't believe she won, and they actually congratulate her. And now they start to, when Troy tells Sam all the stuff that she has to do, she's like, I got to do all this and I got to say all this, and then he was like, yeah, this is what you signed up for, Sam. And now she's pissed off.
Yeah, which I think is an excellent display of like the Bernie Sanders type. They want to be rebels, but they don't actually want to win because that means they got to do shit.
Right.
And they don't fully understand it, which is typical liberal. They want to complain, but they don't actually know what the hell they're talking about or what the cost of anything is. And then she's all worried that all of her extracurriculars will be interfered with having to actually have a real job. That's her complaint, is that she'll have to do something for other people that doesn't benefit her directly.
Right. And that is such a liberal thing, especially with Black people. I have to say that strictly is a majority Black people mentality. Like, just give it to me. I don't want to do much to get it. Just give it to me because I'm a victim, because I'm a woman, because I'm a Black, because I'm poor, because just give me. I don't want to do shit to get it. Just give it to me.
Mm-hmm.
They don't appreciate it. So now, once they make that transfer, they go into the cafeteria inside the dorm room, which is another reason I knew this was a very elite college, because in my poor ass historical Black college, all of us went to one cafeteria, all of us, okay? And we didn't have the privilege of having our own meals at the top of our dorm room. Now, so here we have all of the Black people sitting down, and then you have the rich white kid who's the son of the president, and his crew, all white people. They go sit down, and then you have Lionel with the fucking fake ass afro wig. He comes in there too, and so Sam gets up and say, "What you doing here? You don't belong here." And imagine, Joseph, if somebody white said that to Black people, they will lose their shit.
Yep. But the whole point of that was that she knew they didn't belong because of their skin color. She doesn't know anyone who lives in the building. She doesn't pay attention to any of that. She has no idea. But she knows they don't belong because of their skin color, because she wants it segregated. She wants an easy way to identify things, but she doesn't actually know any of the requirements for running the place, so she doesn't know everyone there. So her entire thing was just doing publicity stunts.
Yeah. And so now that she's the president, she harasses the white kids at the table and said, "You don't belong here." And that's when he stood up and said, "Well, this is the only dorm where I can have chicken with my waffles." And stuff. And the way he said it, the shit was, I swear, this was a genuine laugh from me, which is not easy to do with a fucking movie like this. I thought the shit was funny, you know what I'm saying? Because I was like, chicken and waffle is a Black thing, okay? So, I thought it was funny. Yeah, it was really good. I was like, it was so funny fucking time. And so anyway, so here we go again, which is something that's not only expected from the people on the left, but is expected from Black people, niggas and Black people. I got to put them both in this one category. Mm-hmm. When we don't get what we want and we can't express ourselves verbally, we will result to going physical. So what she do is she goes over to him because he refused to leave. So she goes over and takes his plate and flips it over.
Yeah, she was being racist, so he comes back and makes a joke out of it, showing the idiocy of what she's saying. You don't belong here because you're white. So he was laughing at her tyrannical belief. So she had to instantly lash out. But yeah.
Physically, she had to actually go physically on him, showing that I'm Black. I mean what I say, nigga. Well, not in this case. This is what white person. So she gets confrontational with him when he makes her look like a fool. So he eventually, because this is something I like. I have to say about them. They didn't want to go that route where, you know, we could fuck you up, but we're not going to. And I think that explains what's happening right now with Antifa, with Black Lives Matter, with the SJWs, with these feminazis. We on the right know we can fuck you up. Now, of course, these white kids are not conservative at all. But the fact
only the main douchebag would be the only non-cuck. Everyone else is a cuck.
Exactly. He is a non-cuck. He is alpha. He's an asshole. You know what I'm saying? He's an alpha asshole. All right. Yeah. And so he doesn't, he thinks about the situation and he doesn't take it to that level. He go ahead and say, you know what, we'll leave. And they left. Now, you guys got to listen to this part. This is where I start to hate Lionel. Lionel is also in the dorm. He's also eating. And she looks at him. Now, he's supposed to be Black, but because he's I can't say they did that to him because he's gay. Because to me, he wasn't obviously flamboyant gay. I said this was the worst gay character they could have picked up. But I think because he just didn't blend in and he was not a militant Black, she looks at him and goes, "You too, get out." And like a bitch, he leaves. So I think, and I'm going to ask you why you think she kicked him out. I think she kicked him out because he wasn't down for the cause and he wasn't part of the Black clique. So because he was like a sore thumb, and Black people reject Black people like that because they just don't have that I belong in this group. They're too skinny and too weak to be an athlete, and they're not. They are smart, but even the nerds don't want to deal with them because he's just don't. That Afro wig to me was just. It was just, oh, good Lord. Anyway, I just thought, like, if you're supposed to be for Black people, why did you kick out another Black man? But why do you think they kicked him out of the cafeteria?
Well, they know he's gay. They kicked him out because he doesn't have an intersectionality identity yet. Like when he's out in the courtyard and he's looking at all the different groups of Blacks and he's trying to figure out which identity is his, he doesn't cut his hair because he doesn't know what persona he wants to project to the world.
Right.
So he lets it grow wild because he doesn't actually know who he's supposed to be with. He doesn't actually have any qualities that are redeeming for him. He's not a good writer. The only reason he's on the assignment is because he has access and he's Black. So they're using him. He even asks, am I a good writer? And they tell him, you'll get better. He isn't a good writer. So they don't really need him for anything. They know he's gay. And he doesn't actually use his gayness as a weapon against whites. So he's not intersectional at that point. So he has no value. He might as well be over there with the white guys until he figures out that he can use that he's gay as a weapon. And he does at the end. He goes in and trashes their house, assaults them, sexually assaults the main white character, and then is the victim.
I forgot that shit. I forgot. I'm like, wait a minute.
He once he has an intersectionality, he's one of them, and he has his hair cut because now he is a victim.
Right. Because now that he can identify himself as a gay Black victim, now he cuts his hair into which is what his hair looked like in the first place without the fucking wig on. Yes. But now he looks presentable. He started to dress better, didn't he?
Yes. Because now he had an image to uphold as somebody. Before he was just basically a person in the wilderness. He didn't have an identity to project. He didn't because he doesn't even have his own identity. He hides who he is, and he doesn't like who he is. He isn't smart. He isn't typically gay where he's into jazz and classical music or any of that stuff. He doesn't have any of that overly cultured. He doesn't actually have his own characteristics. He's just a projection of everyone else.
Right, because when he talks to Dean Fairbanks and Dean Fairbanks begin to give him a metaphor in jazz, Lionel is looking at him like, I don't know, I don't like jazz. I don't know anything about jazz. And it's like, yeah, you're exactly right. He has no cultural attachment to the black culture or actually to the Black community whatsoever.
Yep. And he
So
despises black people. He says that the worst part of high school, and there were many, were the blacks.
right, right. Hence why I hated this character, because he flip-flopped quickly.
Yeah.
I was like, and there was no need for you to be loyal to a group of people who actually took a shit on you all your life. What the fuck's wrong with you? Just so you could blend in during your college years? Fuck you.
Yeah, and when in his first housing, the douchebag tells him they think he's racist and homophobic. He pulled his dick out in front of another dude and told him, he's literally telling him, it's not a dick, it's a joke. Don't take it so hard, by physically taking his dick out. Like, you need to relax, lighten up. No one cares you're gay. Here's my penis. And instantly, he gets offended.
I forgot about the pull the dick part out. That too was funny. Like I said, this movie had some funny moments in it. I wasn't pissed off throughout the entire movie, but when he separated himself typing on his expensive, Mac computer laptop, his Mac laptop, the other guy comes over, like, because he was so uptight about, his gayness. He was like, oh, the dean told me you called in reference to our outgoing message. Let me just show you. Here's my dick. And he
Yeah. No, he's living in a house with guys who want to be on like an SNL sketch. So they're not gonna care about gay people. They do no fucks given. None. They do not care. And he's more offended by the idea that they don't actually care that he's gay. That they don't care that he's black. That they care that his writing sucks. That it's not funny. So not true.
Right.
Killjoy.
Right. He's a killjoy. Yeah. He is definitely a killjoy. Okay, so now we go into where when she finally kicks him out. Here's another part I wrote down, where she refers to the university as the plantation.
Yep.
And I'm saying, nigga, what really? You gonna call a prestigious all white university that you volunteered your black ass to attend? You decided to go there, okay, with mommy and daddy's money, okay? Your white daddy, your black mama's money to go to the plantation, when in real life, slaves didn't have that option to go to the fucking plantation. So I'm just like, really, this is just, now that part is true. Black people like to call things that they signed up for, that's majority white, the plantation. And I always found that just something that was something true that black people do. It's just a bunch of hypocrites. They'll go to a job where it's only white people, and then when they're in the lunchroom talking to other black people, black employees, they want to refer to their job as the plantation and refer to the boss as massa. You know what I'm saying? But your black ass put an application to come into the black plantation to work and get paid for work, where slaves don't get paid to work, you dumb Negro. Oh, God.
Yeah, I didn't know that black people actually refer to work as the plantation.
Yeah, they do that. That's part's true. They refer to anything that they signed up for, whether it's a university, whether it's a high school, whether it's a job, whether even when I was in Germany, even when I was living in Germany, we had black Americans who came to Germany on their own and called the motherfucking place the plantation and called Germans racist, which I must admit, if there's anybody who's not racist, it's them stupid Germans, not all, hashtag not all, okay? Yeah. But they are the most welcoming people I have ever seen they're too overcompensating for other people's race. But once again, black people always got to go someplace and claim the victim, just as you stated earlier. And this happened in Germany. So they always want to use something that they signed up for as the plantation. So so in Germany, in Berlin is where you have more Americans, particularly black Americans. And they always talk about something, over here in the German plantation. I say, nigga, what? What the fuck is a German plantation?
That ain't gonna last. Just so you know. I'm German. You put up with something until you don't, and then like 1945 type of shit goes down real quick.
Right.
Like, enjoy it while it lasts. Like, you can avoid it if you're just not an asshole, but if you keep pushing, eventually you get to the point where Germans are really efficient and they're really accepting, and then they're really not.
I'm ready for that really not part. I'm so am ready for the fucking really
Yeah, that's not going to end well with all of our technological advances. That's a lot, like I told you last time, what a lot of white people are worried about is as more and more people get red pilled, the willingness to just say, you just did this to yourself is a real problem, especially if German flips, because Germans are binary. They're either they accept you or they don't. They're working or they're sleeping. They're very, very structured, very authoritarian in their behavior.
Yep.
When that switch flips, it's gonna be brutal for Muslims. So
let it happen, boo. Let it happen. I'm serious. Okay, so now check this out. So now we go to Coco. Coco is the girl, black woman. She's actually very attractive. And this is something else, Joseph, I don't know if you know this or not, but there is a shade racism, if you can call it that, discrimination where the blacker you are, the more hated or the more shit you get. And the same thing with the more light you are. It's like you either have to be my complexion to get in a safe zone, but if you're too dark, you are belittled by black people. If you're too light, you're belittled by black people. So here you have this very dark skin. She's very beautiful with that fucking wig on her goddamn head, but we'll talk about that shit later. And she wants to be a reality TV star. So she goes to a casting call, and the black guy rejects her and says, you know, I don't know exactly what he said, but he turned her down. And she decided that, you know, I forgot what he said to her because her storyline wasn't that interesting to me, but he said something to her to the point where she decided that she's going to prove to him that she can get views because she has a vlog on YouTube where she talks about her born life. She doesn't have that many views. She doesn't have that many subscribers. And then she goes to Sam, the Half-Breed's YouTube channel, and she got all these subscribers and she got all these views. And I do believe Sam is talking about the same fuck white people shit on YouTube that she is on the campus. Correct, Joseph?
Yes, she does the exact same thing. And once Coco tears down Sam for making stupid arguments, she instantly becomes popular with all the white kids on campus. They love it because someone's actually pushing back.
Right.
So that's when her thing pops up.
Right. She gets so now she gets a lot of subscribers. She gets a lot of views, and when she doesn't realize that she is popular and that the white kids are accepting of her until she goes to an all-white party that her and Troy are the only black ones there. And I think the white kids, somebody pulled up her YouTube video on their laptop, and then that's when they come in and talk to her. Now here's a funny part. There's a stereotype where you have the white guy trying to be black, where he knows about rap and
he's trying to impress her because he likes her.
Oh, he liked her.
He likes her. He's trying to impress her. He's an awkward, weird, basically a loser, desperately trying to show that he likes her and that he likes her culture, what he thinks her culture is. So he's projecting what the dear white people crowd are telling everyone what black people are like. He's trying to project that to this girl, and she's like, no one calls you Black Mitch. No one cares about it. No one likes that. Knock it off. But he's trying to show that he's basically saying, I'm down with the cause. I like you. He likes black women, and he's just barking up the wrong tree with her. He's doing it. He's basically trying to be black in order to get a black girl because that's what all the other black kids are saying you have to be. But she wants a white guy. So if he was just himself and not overcompensating, he would have a better shot.
I agree with that part where black women who not only date white guys, but we date all outside of our race. We date all races. We don't want a generic black guy. Okay.
Yeah.
So if I date a white guy, I don't want a wigger.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want a white guy who's going to pretend to be black, who's going to be down with black, who's going to, yo, what's up? I don't want no fucking person like that. You see what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
so, and I agree that she, even though, you know, she's not strictly, we found out she's not strictly with white guys, but she actually has a point there where no, a black woman who really genuinely like, you know, white guys don't want them acting black.
Yep.
Okay. So we have that. So all of a sudden, you know, so she gets, first she was ignored at the party. Troy sitting at the table. Were they playing poker or something like that?
Yeah, they're playing poker. It's how they pick who basically joins their club in order to be on their on their newspaper. You have to win at poker, not necessarily win the game, but win over the guys you're playing with.
And at the game, at the poker table is the alpha asshole we're talking about, which is the son of the president. And apparently Troy is dating his sister.
Yep.
And that he doesn't like that. Now, I didn't get the impression that Troy didn't, that the alpha asshole didn't like Troy dating him because of his sister. I thought he just didn't like him because, you know, he probably think his sister could do better. I don't know. I didn't pick up racism. Did you?
No, it wasn't racism. The asshole doesn't like the fact that Troy is only going out with his sister because his father told him to.
Yes.
Troy doesn't actually like his sister. There's no feeling there.
None whatsoever.
He's not making his own choices. So the asshole is telling Troy to stop playing your parents' game. Be yourself. Stop dating Mr. Who you actually like.
Right.
Like stop being a pawn. He calls him a pawn. He tells him you're just being a pawn.
Right. Because we find out that he's doing everything to please his father, to actually fall in line with the legacy of his father, and trying to be this this glorified bragging piece for his father's colleagues and friends.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
so he
also doesn't find Troy funny because Troy is literally playing a part.
Right. Right.
So he's not being authentic. He's Sam describes it when she's describing what a nose job is and straight 100 and all that stuff.
Right, because
he's literally playing to the crowd instead of being himself. And being a caricature isn't funny. It's not authentic.
Right. So, that reminds me. And Sam has a book on what the fuck was that? Was the book on how to be black or the difference between blacks? Or I couldn't understand because
how to be black. How the 3 ways black people can interact with white people and survive in a white world.
And Lionel was reading this book, and it gave the answers at the bottom, but you had to turn the book upside down. So this was interesting in itself. So anyway, so of course we go through the stereotypes of, you know, why is it that you got the white woman? And they said something like, you know, we can get, I forgot the fucking joke. It wasn't funny, but it was something in reference to Troy.
Reparations.
Troy saying black men getting white women is a form of reparations. Thank you, Joseph. That's what that was.
40 acres and a mule.
Not fucking funny at all. I did not find that joke funny at all. And I was like, oh my God, these niggas are so lame. They're so fucking lame whatsoever. So
and they're laughing at it because they don't. The other white kids are laughing at his joke because they don't want to be racist. They don't want to appear racist.
But the asshole alpha
doesn't care. He doesn't care what everyone thinks. It's not funny, so he's not going to laugh. And he knows that they're all playing these caricatures, so he's not for it. Right.
And he ended up getting up, leaving. Troy follows him, and then that's when this negotiation goes on where the asshole alpha tells Troy that they're going to pick the. Okay, I'm shady on this part, Joseph. You explain this part.
Okay, so when they leave the table, Troy is trying to figure out how to get in on the magazine that the main white character puts together, and he tells them everyone on the group likes you, but he doesn't. He doesn't find him funny. The only way he'll be getting on is if he writes the winning invitation to the party they have every year. That's how they pick someone. They do all this stuff to weed everyone out, and then they tell the basically the 5 runner-ups to write an invitation, and if the invitation gets picked, they're the new person. So he has him write an invitation to the party, and he doesn't get picked. So when you don't know who wrote it, none of them thought that Troy was funny.
Okay. That's exactly how it happened. Yep.
Yeah.
And so now we leave the party and we go to Sam again. And Sam they're in class, and okay, she apparently didn't do her assignment or some shit like that.
Yes.
And this is when we learn her father's sick. And
she used it as an excuse.
Yeah, she did use an excuse, a convenient excuse, and the professor didn't buy into it. It was like, look, you came here, you need to do your work. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
she's like,
you can't be part of all of these clubs and all these activities and say you don't have time to do your class assignment.
Right. So he called her out on her shit, right?
Yep.
And once again, when black people are have a mirror put in their face and told about their shit, they get pissed off. Of course, we want to talk about racism and all this other bullshit. And so she walks out of her out of the class building, and she walks by the nice white guy, right?
Yep.
Like I said, I don't know none of the white character's name at all. But anyway, she walks by him and says something smart. I forgot what the fuck she said. She said something very condescending and very smart. He follows her. They begin to have this banter back and forth, all the way up to her dorm room. Now, when she goes up into her dorm room, she begins to kiss and take off her clothes. Like, what the fuck? That shit came out of, I didn't see that coming, because we didn't know that she was in a relationship. We didn't know that she was in a relationship with the black guy. We didn't know anything about her being in a relationship with the black guy in the beginning. We didn't think she was in a relationship at all. And then come to find out, she's in a relationship. Well, not a relationship. She's having a booty call with this nice white guy. But here's what it started off. They start kissing. She takes off her clothes, and then she goes, "Now on your knees."
Yeah, she's got to dominate him.
I'm like, okay, so you mean to tell me that when black women get into a relationship with a white man, it's all about the black woman is the dominant one and the white guy is the pussy? Because it's like, it's like, oh my God, it was that too should have been insulting, I think, to white people, because it was like, on your knees, eat me out. You know what your job is. And it's, okay, I get it. Some people are into that. But really, did we have to go there with the introduction of this guy? This is the first time you're going to introduce me to him, and you're showing me that he's a submissive who likes to play DNS games.
Yeah, which doesn't actually fit with his actual character through the entire time. He's challenging her every single scene he's in with her.
Right.
Up except for that one. It's the one time she actually takes control over him.
Right. After
he even challenges her on her use of varying vernacular. He challenges her on.
Exactly. After that, like, that's the only time he's subservient. Other than that, he's the one. He's the top. He's the guy. He's the one who calls on her on her shit. It was like, who wrote this didn't know how to fucking do. It was just so awful.
Well, it's written by a gay black man.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, it's the original movie was written by a gay black man as a like a love letter to his white boyfriend, trying to explain how he sees black people interacting with white people.
Oh, now the shit makes sense. Okay, all right. Now that, because why the fuck would he know anything about interracial relationships with heterosexual people?
Exactly.
Oh God. All right. So they've had sex. They're cuddling in bed. All right. And her boyfriend, this is when we learn that the black militant guy that she's been sitting beside all this time is her boyfriend. He calls the white guy, picks up the phone, which we'll call him the white booty call for now.
Yep.
He picks up her phone, sees that it's her boyfriend, and gives her the phone. She doesn't answer it. She gets up and she looks up, and then I guess he sends her a text that says, "Where are you, beautiful?" Since she didn't pick up the phone. And then the white guy, like, "Sam, what are we doing?" And she goes, "We're just fucking."
Yeah. Yeah, none of the black people are loyal in the movie to their spouse.
Yes!
Every one of them cheats. And even if they're not in a relationship, they're still willing to cheat on everyone else.
Right.
There's absolutely no loyalty within the movie by any of the black characters.
And another thing, which also proves a stereotype, which is not really a stereotype, it's just a fact about the 73% single mother homes in the black community. Okay, if we are not teaching our siblings, our youth, how to be in loving, monogamous, loyal, trusting relationships, how the fuck are we gonna break down that 73% single parent homes? It's like no one, you're absolutely right, Joseph. I didn't even take that into consideration. No black person was loyal to their mate. They all fucked around on each other.
Even Lionel.
Lionel.
He doesn't. He thinks he likes the racist. You say Middle Eastern looking guy. I don't know what his race was.
Yeah, I don't either. He
hard to place. But that guy was
Eastern.
only using Lionel, and he was overtly racist himself. Black people are stereotypically easily to peg in these trends. They're all about destroying themselves and repeating the same process over and over again. He was
right about that. We do repeat the same shit from the 60s. You see what I'm saying? But we kind of put a little different spin on it. Yeah. Hence why what pissed me off about the whole, okay, what was the point of the whole civil rights movement to stop segregation if you're going to bring shit back just to get rid of it again?
Yeah. Now he points that out to the white girl who's then going to play with Lionel's hair the entire time like a bitch, which makes no sense. Because I'm around white people. Don't really see a lot of white people grabbing black people's hair unless they're really good friends, in which case white girls do that to each other. They'll sit there and braid each other's hair. So it's not because you're black, it's because they're fidgety and you have hair.
Right.
So
and the thing about it is Lionel hair didn't have the look like you want to put your hands in it anyway.
No, it was, if someone had lice, it was Lionel. That's what his hair looked like. So no person would want to touch that. And
that's all she kept doing, is kept touching and playing his hair, kept touching and playing. I said, nobody want to do that, boo. Nobody want to do that to your hair. Okay. No. Now I've had people, especially when I'm in Europe, who are curious about my hair and they want to touch it once to see what the texture feels like. But to constantly play in my hair throughout the fucking movie is unrealistic. White people don't do that shit.
No, like I said, and the only time that would actually happen is if you're really good friends and you're sitting there and they're like braiding each other's hair or they're just fidgety.
Actually, that's true.
One of my friends does that with one of my black friend Elle and my friend Antonia. They'll fidget with each other. They'll poke each other, grab each other's hair. It's not racist. It's literally their ADD and they're just touching shit.
Yeah.
But they're not going to walk up to some random black person and just be like, hand into hair.
Right.
That's not going to happen.
Right. And that's exactly
they knew each other for like 3 years before they were like, eh.
And I actually like, I don't care about long hair on women, but when I see long hair on men, yeah, I have this desire to want to touch it, but just that once, but to play. But I can tell you, like, I have this one guy, he's into a heavy metal band, has this beautiful, beautiful long black hair. And I like to fucking do shit like put it in plaits and you know, and I like to make styles out of it, but that's not something I'm doing all day, every day. It's whenever I'm bored, which is rare now. I haven't played his hair in a long time. But when I was around him and I was bored, I would fucking play in his hair. Right now, I don't have the time to fuck with his hair. So you see what I'm saying? So you're absolutely right about your friends.
Yeah, you're not playing with his hair because he's white. It's the hair itself. It's not. You're not being like, oh, there's a white guy with long hair. Let me wander over and just start fucking with his head. You're not picking out random white people to do this to. So I don't really like. I don't actually know anyone outside of the 1920s who would pat black people on the head for like good luck and shit. Like that's not something that happens.
Oh God. Okay, so now we go to I gotta tell you another a joke that was said that I thought was so fucking funny, where the asshole alpha was talking with his friends, and he said somebody said, who does now Sam is the mulatto half-breed chick, right?
Yep.
So he says, who does Sam think she is? And the alpha asshole said, Sam is like Oprah and Spike Lee had a pissed off baby.
Yes. Yeah, self-righteous and militant. Yeah.
Yeah. I said, oh shit, I gotta write that joke down because the shit was so funny. It's like as if Spike Lee and Oprah had a pissed off baby. That is Sam perfectly. That described her perfectly. Oh my God.
And if you look at what they're doing, they're writing jokes to make fun of the popular radio show.
Right.
That's what they were doing. They weren't like just ragging on her for no reason. They were actively trying to write jokes for their paper that makes fun of the popular culture on campus.
Yes. Yes.
So they were literally brainstorming jokes, and that's what he comes up with.
And that was funny.
Because he's not worried. Again, he's not worried about offending anyone. It's just about telling a joke.
And let's talk about that for a second. I got to tell you this. I take to white people on Twitter and YouTube who purposely offends. Prime example, Mark Dice.
Yes.
Mark Dice loved to use the word nigga.
Yes.
And he doesn't care if black people get pissed off about it. He doesn't care if black people on Twitter ask Jack to ban him. He's still going to say, what's up, my nigga? Y'all niggas doing this. Yeah. He says it the same way I say it. And
yes.
I respect and adore him for that because he's purposely offending black people to show them you're taking yourself too seriously. I actually do that. And I have been censored. So now I have to watch my language, but I purposely say offensive things to offend people to show them, look, you have the right to be offended. I have the right to offend you. Now, if you are offended, you have to ask yourself why, okay? Yeah. But you can't shut me up. Well, YouTube can shut me up, as you can see, because you don't like what I say. If you don't like what I say, don't listen to me, don't follow me, or don't goddamn, stand around and listen to me talk. But you have that right to walk away, to click the channel off, to close out the browser. But to shut me up, that's a different issue. And I really like the fact, like I said, this guy, he didn't give any fucks about anybody's feelings. And I don't understand why we don't appreciate that in people anymore.
Yeah, well, if you look at Mark Dice, 90% of his videos is showing how uneducated and dumb white people on the street are. Almost every one of his videos, he's offering a bar of gold or a bar of silver or a Hershey bar to a bunch of white people, and they all want the chocolate.
They choose a chocolate every time.
Yeah, he literally spends his day making fun of how dumb and uneducated most white people in America are.
Right.
And then he does the exact same thing. He doesn't discriminate when he's showing the idiocy of it. Right. Because anyone who saying nigga is offensive or racist is stupid.
Right.
White people don't they say the N-word.
Yes.
They'll say kike, they'll say spick, chink, they'll say gook, and then the N-word. Because they inherently believe that there is a difference between it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
People, it's basic. Even the reporters who calling a journalist fake news is the same thing as saying the N-word. Really? Why didn't you say it? If it's the same thing, why didn't you say it?
Right.
If it's exactly the same thing, they do not believe it. No one does.
And I plead to white people, if you really want, if you really want to come out as a commentary YouTuber, or, well, it might be a little dangerous now because you might get your channel shut down, but you know what I'm saying? Mark doesn't have to worry about that because he's so well established and so well connected. But I think a lot of people will gravitate to white people who just don't give any fucks about your feelings. This is the reason why Bill Burr is a great comedian.
Yep.
It's like, I like offensive comedians. This whole thing about safe space, this whole thing about that's racist, that's Islamophobic, that's sexist. This is bullshit. It's getting to the point where we're tired of it. And when you have people who actually go against the grain, they're so revered because it's so rare.
Yeah.
All right. So, okay, so now we're going to go to the sex scenes between Troy and his white girlfriend, right?
Yes.
So Troy got a lot on his mind, hold on. I forgot to mention one thing about Troy in the beginning of the movie. Mm-hmm. Troy mentioned something about, I need some get back or something like that. And then and the white girlfriend said, but didn't you get some earlier? He's like, it's a black thing, baby. It's a black thing. Like, I was like, oh, okay, so black people, and that could be right. It's like black men are all about fucking all day long. It's only about fucking getting, It's all about that. So that was the first thing to show me he didn't give a fuck about his girlfriend. Then the second time, he wants to do something non-sexual. Like he wants to, I think he wanted to go watch something or go whatever.
He wanted to go hang out with her brother.
Right.
He wants to go and be around her brother because her brother is going places.
Right.
And her brother doesn't care what other people think. He just does whatever he wants, and he wants to, but he's just a puppet. He doesn't have any free will, make any of his own choices. It's all about the image.
Right. And so she's sitting on the couch and she's undoing his belt buckle and pulling down his pants, and she said something. I didn't even write. Oh, here we go. I wrote it down. I was like, did I write down what she says? She says, don't you like me when I suck on your big black dick or something like that?
Yeah.
And then, she says, your big black dick. I got it down right here. And then he was like, no, baby. She's like, but you like it when you humiliate me like that. You like it when I talk like that to you before we have sex. And I was like, really? I was like, first we go. So here's where we go again, where I'm like, this could be offensive to white people. So here we have two sex scenes, quote unquote sex scenes, where you have a black woman dominating a white male, mm-hmm. oral sex, and then we have a black male who likes to dominate a white woman, oral sex. Okay. Yes. And I'm saying to myself, once again, they're showing that the only relationship that black people can have with white people is when the black person is the dominant one in the relationship and the white person is the subservient one in the relationship.
Giving.
Yes. It's always about give to your black massa. Give to your black massa. Satisfy your black partner. It's all about them. Fuck you, fuck your needs, you're white, you're here to sexually please me, and then go on about your business. And it was like, now that was a slap in the face to me, and I think to white people. But what is your take on that whole thing, Joseph?
I saw it just, like I said, she's just about the facade of, she wants a black guy as a shell. She doesn't actually want him to do anything that is stereotypically black. She just wants him for his skin color. So she wants to play the role but not actually live the life. So she wants the whitest possible black guy. So she's trying to give just enough of what she thinks that he requires in order to maintain that relationship, because she doesn't actually like him.
She's just using him sexually, but so is he.
Yeah. Well, he's using her because his father wants him to.
Oh, okay.
She's using him as a rebellion against her father and a status symbol. I have a black guy. This is my black. It's ownership. That's how a lot of liberals are. He is her pet Negro.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Even her friend, Coco, right? Coco wants a white guy, and she wants a black guy. They both want it for status.
Right.
Not
For companionship, just strictly status.
Yes, because Coco wants to be with Troy, but for status, she wants to be with a white guy. And for the white woman, status is having a black guy. But doesn't actually like him. There's no. She doesn't like the fact that she doesn't know that he smokes weed. Doesn't know that he writes jokes. Doesn't get why he wants to be around her brother. You want to be with someone who doesn't want to be around your family?
Right.
That's weird.
Right.
She doesn't want to take him around any of her friends.
No,
None.
not at all.
At all. So it's pure. I have a black guy, but he's off in the corner, except for when it comes out as my show pony.
Right.
That's all she is. So that there's no love loss when they break up or when he cheats on her, because there is no actual feelings between either one of them.
Not at all. It's more of a disappointment, like you missed out on a job opportunity. Actually, when they broke up.
Yeah. It's a wasted time. It was wasted effort.
Okay, so now we go to the scene where we have Sam and her militant black people at a fucking Ticketmaster booth at the movie, and this was a stupid shit right here. They're all complaining about Tyler Perry. They're complaining to some white guy who was there just to sell you the tickets to the fucking movie. I was like, what is, like, it had to have been 8 of them. 8 of them yelling at this one white guy, and and
the one Asian. There's one Asian.
Oh yeah, one Asian. There's one Asian.
Yep.
That right there was I think she was only there to say one joke, which was towards the end where they're about to fight. But they're in there, and I was like, and they make these points about Tyler Perry and the cross dressing and the Christian undertones and da. And I'm saying to myself, what the fuck is complaining to the person who sells the tickets to the movies is going to do? It was just the most dumbest thing. Now, I forgot what the white guy said. We have a movie where
with 2 Chainz. Yeah, with a rapper in it.
With 2 Chainz in it. And they go,
yeah. Yeah. Okay, because either you can be Tyler Perry or you can be gangster rap. Why is there nothing else? You're all a bunch of rich kids. Why are you going to the movies if you don't like what they're playing?
Exactly.
They're literally just complaining. They don't want change. Everything that their protest is about, everything that their characters do the entire time is about a facade. It's about appearing to be the rebel, but not actually being. It's like, a Berlin study just came out that showed that 92% of left-wing activists live at home, and 1/3 of them are unemployed.
Wow.
None of them really want anarchy. They all want to live at home with their moms, get taken care of, and damn the man. Same thing with what the black student activists were doing. They're going to have a protest because they're going to be the next Malcolm X, which is who that kid is supposed to be. He's wearing the black leather jacket. He's the militant. But when he's in a scene with just Sam and he kisses her, he says, "When I saw you, I thought you were Puerto Rican because you're not."
Right.
She doesn't look black enough because she is mixed breed.
Also, for someone to be militant, she had the most white dress wardrobe. It was she looked like now this is gonna take this is probably a real old school show, but it was a show called Different World. And it had the Cosby Show had, what was the light skin, Lisa Bonet. Yeah. She dressed like Lisa Bonet.
Yes.
Where this was this crazy fashion. It wasn't black, it wasn't white, it was unique. And the fact that she's supposed to be a militant black, what the fuck did you have an American flag bandana around your pony, like your bun in the back of your head? See, I noticed small shit like that. First of all, militant blacks would never have American flags in any of their wardrobe. And here she had this bandana wrapped around the back of her bun, and it's an American flag. And I'm like, this is not what militant people do. And I was like, this is, and she dressed just like Lisa Bonet. So it was like there was nothing to. She didn't fit. If this guy, the gay black writer, he must be clueless about black culture, because militant black women, especially, and he's right about this. The most militant people I know are half breeds. Okay, they have to prove themselves that they are black. They have to get that black card and keep it and validate, get that shit validated every year. And that also requires a certain language. That also requires a certain type of level of relationship where you're going to get the most blackest guy you can. It's probably somebody straight off the boat in Africa, okay? Yeah. Somebody who just came from Uganda, and as soon as he came into the, I'm in America, you're my boyfriend. You know, she just snatched his ass up right then and there. And then also, they dress militant, they talk militant, they read militant books. They're not going to dress the way Sam was dressing. So this was a crazy thing. Okay, so did you want to say anything about that, Joseph?
Yeah, Sam does her hair up, but she has naturally straight hair. Her hair is real. She doesn't wear a weave or that kind of stuff.
Right.
So she has to go through the effort to make her hair look like a black woman who spent a lot of time to make her hair like that. So, like, she's trying to make her hair look like it's a weave, even though it's real.
Right, right, and that's the reason why the white guy said, "Why? How long? Why do you do that to your hair?"
Yeah, you like Taylor Swift. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and he even says it. Our Mac computers auto sync when I walk in. You like Taylor Swift, and she goes, I thought I hid that so well. Like.
He got her, man. He knows her so well. He does know her so well. And I agree. Exactly. It's like she has, because she's mixed, she naturally has long, straight hair, and she does everything she can to hide that, because she knows that's just going to be something that black people, especially black women, are not going to like, because they have to buy weaves, they have to buy wigs. Just like Coco getting offended because, the white girlfriend of Troy said, is that a weave? Is that the weave? It's like, why would you get offended, bitch? No, it's not a weave. It's a wig. You're wearing that's a difference. There's a difference between a wig and a weave. But you're offended because Coco got offended because the white girl asked her, which is that a weave? Like, we know, we can look at your hair and tell that's not your real hair. And when black women have to do those things to their hair and then add new hair, okay, but no, you're right about the Indian hair. That's an Indian wig. Those things cost $600, Joseph. You don't know that because it's Indian
natural
hair. It's real hair. So this is not no synthetic. This is not no synthetic hair that's cost $29.99. That shit is expensive, and that's the reason why it looks so good. So yeah, it was Indian, but it was just the fact that she could pull that shit off, which she did. If you notice in the movie, she pulled that
blonde
off.
One, yeah.
Yeah, she also pulled off that black one where she had the Yeah, she did.
She has multiple full heads of hair wigs.
Yes.
That cannot be cheap.
No. With that texture. Anytime that texture looks that good, she's paying well into the $600, $700, maybe no more than $800 for those type of wigs. You know what I'm saying? Those things are not cheap.
That's not her parents. That's what she has as a college student to throw around on top of all of the clothing and all of the stuff. They have what? Easily, the one speaker set is like $1,500, and there's 4 or 5 of them at the party. They have several $1,000s worth of DJ equipment for a party. They didn't rent that stuff; they owned it.
Right.
Yeah, so no, it's all rich kids.
It is strictly rich, strictly about money. So now we get to Lionel again. He's reading Sam's book, and he goes into, and this is when he has a conversation with like I said, the guy that we don't know what his race is, but you know, he's inviting him to join the team, this, that, and the other. And we already know his storyline. You know, this is where also he's moving in to Troy's apartment.
Yeah.
And Troy rejects him immediately and everything like that. So we show how, this is why I hate Lionel so much. Lionel been shitted on by all the black people in this movie. So there's no need for him to be loyal to them in the end. Okay. Yep. So he's trying to find if he fits in with them or not. And then the kiss scene. Oh my God! Did you when the guy who we don't know his race is kissed Lionel?
Yep.
First of all, I started to scratch like because it was just.
Well, the guy you don't know who the race is, he's forcing it because he's trying to keep Lionel right in the story. He doesn't actually want Lionel to write it. He just needs the information. He's using Lionel, so he's doing everything he can to move him along. So him kissing him was just an obligation, which is why it looks forced, because it was.
Yeah.
Which I think they sold well, because I don't think either one of them wanted to kiss each other. So I think that actually worked out, because it looks awkward. It looks forced, because it is, because the Lionel's getting kissed and doesn't know why he's getting kissed, and the other kid's kissing him just so that Lionel keeps bringing back research.
It was so disgusting. And there was the most disgusting scene I've seen. And it's because you could clearly see that these are two heterosexual guys, one pretending to be gay, kiss each other. Or shall I say that what they was trying to kiss back, it was just disgusting. Anyway, so then we have the banter between Sam and her militant boyfriend going back and forth in reference to the protest. You know, they're gonna have.
Well, they're not dating. They're not dating. He wants to date her.
Relationship.
No, he wants to date her. She's rejecting him. He's actually a militant black guy. She doesn't want a militant black guy. She dated Troy, who's also a mixed breed, and she's dating a white guy. She wants a white guy. She does not want a black man, because he kisses her, and that's that. When the white guy sees it, and then she walks off.
Right.
But they're not together.
I thought they were together.
No. No, he likes her. But she doesn't. She's not feeling him. He's a black guy. She likes white. That's why she was with Troy, because he's white.
Okay.
In her eyes.
That just makes her even more fucked up as a character.
Yeah. Well, she even explains when she was younger, when she was like 6 or 7, she knew that she could get her father in trouble by freaking out because she was a black girl with her white dad, and everyone would come to her defense.
And isn't that fucked up to even think as a little kid like that you would do something like that to your white father? And
then she throws a little pity potty and says, "I can't believe I did that. I don't know why I did that," because she thinks her father's dying. But the entire time, she still maintains the idea that all white people are racist, even though she would get other white people to come to her defense against her own father because they see a little black girl in trouble.
Right.
They don't know that she is her father, that he is her father.
Right.
She from a very young age herself states that she knows she can play white people off each other because they're going to want to protect her because they think that she is a victim if she makes herself out to be a victim. So she doesn't even believe white people are racist. She just knows that it's a commodity. And she says it right there in plain language.
She has that black privilege to use that commodity. That's the thing.
Yeah. Yeah, she knew that. She said she knew that she could do that when she was 6 or 7 years old. When she recognized that she had that power, when she had that currency to cash in whenever she wanted. Mm-hmm. And she was a bratty little kid who would. And now she feels bad because she treated her father so terribly.
And that's my thing. It's like, why are you going to feel bad about your father dying now when you treated him like shit and manipulated him? And I'm sure being that he is white, he's overcompensating. He's probably spoiling her. He probably had never disciplined her in his life because he don't want to seem like the bad white guy. You see what I'm saying?
I bet he probably did.
You think so? I don't think so.
Yes. I think
that.
I think because she hides who her father is, and because she doesn't actually want to go out with a black guy, she actually wants a white guy. I think he actually treated her equal like anyone else. So when she misbehaved, he tried to discipline her even in public. And then she would pull the "I'm a little black girl, why is this white guy bothering me" stick, get other white people to get all riled up, and he'd punish her. I think that's why she likes the TA, because he actually pushes back. It reminds her of her father, who she thinks she's losing.
Okay. All right. Then I can see you're right. That makes more sense than what I was coming with. Okay. You're right. When explaining like that, you're right. He more likely did punish her, because that's why she is gravitating to the nice white guy. You see what I'm saying? Because he does the same thing. He calls her on her shit just like her dad.
Yeah, and the TA calls to the public radio station and calls her out on air.
Yeah, he did. I forgot about that part.
Which is something that her father would have done if he's disciplining her in public, not giving a shit that there are other white people around going to judge that this white man is disciplining a black girl. He's treating her exactly like he would anyone else.
Right.
So yeah, no, that's why I think that the father would have been.
You're right on point. You're right on point. Absolutely. Absolutely. I didn't even think about that. This is why it's good to talk to someone else who has a different point of view, because I was thinking that he was being too nice and because he was white. But now when you show me the correlation between how he has disciplined her as a child, and this is the reason why she's going to the teacher assistant, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, even if you look how she tries to play the white teacher.
Right.
She plays it up that her father is sick and she's the victim and she can't do the assignment, and the teacher gives in. She was supposed to do the assignment 3 months ago and still accepts it, and then gives her an extension on her class project. Because he's being empathetic. If you look at all the white characters who are not racist, it's the TA, the teacher, the Hollywood exec, he's not racist, and the administrative. Every other character is racist. So the only people who are not racist is Hollywood, the media, academia, and in the intelligence. Everyone is, but only the liberal establishment is not racist in the movie.
Right. Sure. Okay. Well.
Yeah, which I think is actually why he pushed it that way. That's all partisan pushing. That has nothing to do with reality.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Correct. And I think this is the reason why we see it differently than what the people on the left would see this movie for. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay. I don't think a lot of liberal white people are gonna like it. They're gonna watch it, but I don't like they'll watch it and like say they like it, but I do not think they're going to like it. And I think if a lot of like Trump supporters watched it, they would be offended by the title and then be like, that's not me. I would never go to this school. My dad can't buy me into a school. If you look at most Trump supporters, they're not racist. They don't have time to care that you're black. They have to feed their kids. They have to go to work. You have to do this. So that's the struggle. You work.
And it's probably explain why so many people on the left are getting triggered by this movie, because it really shows them and their hypocrisy.
Yeah. But I think a lot of people are like we did. You see the title, you see the trailer, and it's a bad trailer. It instantly makes it look like it's gonna bash white people.
Absolutely. And
if you don't actually watch the movie,
I watched it with you.
Yeah. If you don't watch the movie, you would assume it's just another MTV thing. So I think a lot of liberals are going to watch it and they're going to hate it, but they won't say it out loud because that's racist. And a lot of conservatives are going to dislike it because it's racist, but not in the way they think.
Exactly.
If you have to watch something, you have to read something and to get a real review. And unfortunately, you have to do that.
Yeah, otherwise, with this movie, you have to watch it because it's not. You're gonna have a lot of people on the left talking about this is really racist against white people, and like I said in the beginning of this broadcast, I was like, I was more insulted as a black person with this motherfucking movie.
Like I said, didn't offend me.
I didn't see what y'all saw. Okay, I was more offended as a black person because this show showed us to be stupid as fuck. But then again, that is how Black people are on the left. So it was like, it was really something. And like I said, it made me laugh a couple of times. So when something makes me laugh, I'm like, okay, you're going to keep my interest up a couple of times. And like, I didn't see the alpha asshole as a racist. I just didn't see it.
No.
Okay.
Like I said, the movie didn't offend me as a white person. Because like I said, these are not white people that I hang out with. These are the white kids I went to school with that were a pain in the ass. These are the white kids in Black Bloc. So them being racist, okay, I'll accept that.
Yeah, because it's the racist people on the left.
Okay, a bunch of spoiled, rich, liberal white kids are racist. Color me surprised. Like, okay. And then, yeah, but what the depictions of Black people, I'm not a Black person. I couldn't tell you if it's offensive to Black people.
Exactly. And it was
I'm not Black.
very offensive to Black people. It was, and because I'm picking out the parts that are offensive, that's what I'm saying. I'm showing people who, especially if my white subscribers, like why I as a Black person found this shit to be offensive. You know, so from Sam to Lionel, I was like, these characters are fucked up. Actually, every Black character is fucked up. I may give Dean Fairbanks a pass a little bit. He's fucked up too, okay?
Oh yeah, he's literally using his kid to gain social status amongst white people.
Exactly. There was not one Black person that made, like the TA.
Yep.
I liked him.
Yep.
But there's no equivalent to him on the Black team.
Actually, no, the movie rep. He can sell Black hood rats or racist,
he's manipulating. He to me, I didn't like his character because he's actually profiting off of the ignorance of Black people, like they do.
Or white people. At the end, he's like, there isn't any hood rats here, but there are a bunch of rich white racist people, and people pay to see that too. He doesn't actually care who's ignorant. People want to watch ignorance.
That's true.
He's there for the almighty dollar, so is the president. He doesn't want bad PR amongst the donors who are predominantly white, showing bad Black behavior. But you show me bad white behavior, we can make money for it. He's okay with that because he wanted to defend the donors for their money, and he wanted to make money for the school by exposing the rich white kids as being a problem. It was all about the money for both of them.
I wrote his quote. He says, you don't got no hood rats, but this is what you do have. He said, you have ignorant Black people and racist white people, and this is good for TV. And it was like, I was like, oh yeah, well, he got a point there. And then Dean Fairbanks, which is the Black dean, was like, no, we don't have that. And then the president go, how much you talking?
Yeah, because if you look at the president, not Fairbanks, not the dean. The president is, like I said, he's defending the school against the bad PR of having ignorant Blacks because he doesn't want any hood rats because that'll scare off the donors. But the donors don't give two shits about a bunch of racist white kids if it brings money in.
Right.
So he doesn't give a shit what race anyone is. He only cares about money, and so does the exec. So those two characters, as deplorable as they are, as despicable of human beings as the characters are displayed as, they're not racist. They only care about making money.
Right. All right. So now we're coming to the conclusion towards the climax of the movie. Now, before we get to that, here's something also unrealistic about the fucking movie. And you'll remember this, Joseph, when the white kids, when Troy, go in to go eat, they throw, all the Black students one Black student hits a gong.
Yep.
And then all the other Black students throw paper at them, and they run away because of paper balls.
Well, they're throwing trash. It's all just trash.
But you know what? Remember how we talked about how we were starving college kids?
Yep.
Do you think some fucking trash thrown at me is going to stop me from getting some food?
Yeah, but again, these are rich kids.
Yeah,
and if you look at them, they're only throwing it at the white kids, including the TA. The Black kids are so confident that they won't get in trouble. They're throwing shit at a TA.
Right.
When he tries to get in, and he's like, what the hell, Sam?
Right.
Like, the hell is this crap? Why are you, who I am going out with, getting shit thrown at me simply because I am white? How is this not offensive? How is this not racist? And she even claims black people can't be racist because racist requires there to be power plus privilege in order to oppress. That stupid formula.
Bullshit.
Yeah, and the dean points it out and says that's when the dean gets called out for being mixed himself or being married to a white person, overcompensating.
Right.
Because he calls her out on it and Sam throws her back in his face. But yeah, no, them throwing the trash at the students and all the white students running off because they're all cucks. They're all giving in to the scary black people.
But that to me, that's realistic, don't you think?
Yeah.
Especially on the liberal colleges, these like a lot of white people, a lot of white students are cucked because they give into Black Lives Matter, they give into Antifa, they give into the feminists, they give into the SJWs, they give into all this other shit because they don't want to push back. That's the part I'm tired of. I'm ready for the pushback. I really want the pushback to happen.
Yeah, and at the end of the movie, it begins to. If you look at when they're all fighting, none of them are actually fighting. They're all standing there, and the main white kid, who's an asshole, is throwing them out of his party after they start destroying all their property. He's forcing them all out, and as soon as Lionel kisses him, he starts hitting him.
Yes.
But the militant black kid isn't fighting. There's a black guy getting punched in the face, and he's not fighting. He's a militant black guy watching a black man get his ass beat by a white guy.
Right.
And none of the blacks help. None of the black people are actually attacking anyone. They're not defending themselves. Even the black guys are cucked. They're all betas because none of them want to actually get hit. They're willing to hit you, but none of them want to hit. And the one asshole, he's willing to hit back. So now he's actually a threat because you can hit someone and get hit back. It's a whole different game.
And it brings it to reality, which is what shouldn't happen to Antifa. I think if you notice, I think you saw this video where the Antifa was and one of them was a girl. It was like 4 guys and 1 girl, and they try to block this big white guy from going. Yeah,
construction worker just lays him out.
And all of a sudden the white woman is going through. They let her through. He takes his big body and just plows through the goddamn brigade, the lock, right? So the white Antifa woman hits him. He fucking takes his fist and go BAM! Right?
Lays her out, and they're like, "You just hit a woman." Now all of a sudden they have gender, and they want the anarchists want the police to enforce the law.
Exactly. They want.
And the cops are standing there like, "You guys hate police. you wear a shirt that says fuck the police, and I'm supposed to come to your rescue. Also, you just assaulted someone."
Right. You just assaulted this man. He hits her back, and now you want to claim sexism and want me to arrest him for defending himself? Fuck you.
He even says it. "Oh, I didn't know she was a woman. She hit me. That doesn't look like a woman to me." And walks away. No fear. It's the same thing happened to Gavin McInnes. You know him, right?
Yeah.
Where he's going to the deplorball.
Yeah.
And they hit him, and the Antifa is like, "You want to fight?" And he turns and goes, "Yes." As soon as he says yes and gets ready to fight, he goes, "Oh no, what the hell, man? Calm down. We don't no need for violence."
Bitch mode. He instantly goes into bitch mode immediately.
Because leftists and cucks, betas, they want to be the aggressor with no consequence. As soon as you push back, they shut down because they don't know how to respond.
Right.
They don't like getting hit. Turns out getting hit hurts. Yeah. And it turns out you throw shit at someone and they start beating your ass, they don't particularly care about your well-being if you're hitting them.
Right.
They're just going to kick the shit out of you.
Right. Exactly.
And if you notice, none of their friends ever join in to help them.
Nope.
They'll run up behind and hit you with a flagpole, or they'll throw something at you, or they mace you, which is like the biggest bitch move in the world, using mace.
Yeah.
But they'll never actually square up and fight. There's a video of like 20 Antifa stand there, and one Trump supporter walks up and goes, "Okay, who wants to fight?" He just calls them out. "So which one of you wants to go?" And like he's standing there, and they're surrounding him, and none of them step up to fight him. And he's like, "What the hell? I thought we were here to brawl." and one of the anti-ball comes up behind him with a metal flagpole and just hits him in the head, knocks him out. And as soon as he's unconscious, they all start hitting his body.
Right. Like a fucking
But when he
bitch.
called them out face to face, they didn't know who was supposed to step up first because they're cowards. The same thing happens at the party. All the black kids rush in. They're grabbing things off people's heads. They're smashing bottles. They're flipping sound system. And as soon as one of them gets hit, oh, I didn't do anything. And then it's a bunch of black kids crash a party, and we're called rioters. Right. No, you were rioting. You were vandalizing and destroying property and sexually assaulting some dude. Yeah, that's a whole lot of crime you committed there.
All accurate. Yeah. Very accurate. Let me ask you this from a white person standpoint. Now, I caught the jokes. I caught the purple drink joke because that's what purple drink. Where they had the Okay, I caught that joke. That's funny. Stereotypes, but still funny. Some stereotypes are true. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
Okay. To me, the watermelon was just a forced joke. I think if black people are gonna come, if white people will come and pretend to be black, you know what I'm saying? I think the thing about the hip hop culture would definitely be enforced. I think being dressed like a hoe, a hoochie mama, and all that other shit. But the black face and all that other shit, to me, it just looked unrealistic.
Well, that whole party is like 6 or 7 college parties that have happened in America in the last probably 10 years or 12 years, whatever it's been. And they've almost always been offensive costume parties where I don't know if black people do this, but white people will have like a themed party where you go as office CEOs and office hoes or toga parties. But we also have offensive costume parties where you'll go as a Mexican, as the most offensive stereotypical thing that is in the Mexican culture, or you do black. So all of those people showed up as the most offensive, stereotypical black thing that you could think of. That's what that party was. We do the exact.
This something really because I find it.
That's really
my ass off. That's why I had to mute my mic because I'm laughing my ass off as you explain it to me. So this is a real thing.
Yeah, we do the same thing to white people. Like you show up as hillbillies and trailer park trash. We do it when I was in school. We did a Jersey Shore where you were making fun of Guidos, of the whole Guido bullshit on the Jersey Shore. You showed up. My pasty ass would show up with a fake tan as a douchebag that you'd find on the Jersey Shore. You're literally being as offensive as possible to make fun of the stupid stereotypes that exist because they are stupid stereotypes. It's an offensive party. It's literally to make fun of everyone who's butthurt over something that's stupid and no one actually thinks. No, white people do not generally think that black people are obsessed with watermelons. That's not real.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, the purple drink was right on cue. And the wearing the gold chains and the grill and stuff like that. But the whole watermelon, I'm like, no.
Yeah, but that's because you're dressing as a black person. You're gonna blend things that actually happen, like hip hop music, with things that are offensive. So, like, if you're gonna be for white people, you would go to like a hoedown where you'd have trailer parks. You and your person you're with would dress up as cousins, right? Because you're inbred, like stupid rednecks. That's what you would do. You would be or you'd go as a Catholic priest because white Catholic priests like diddling little boys. You're literally trying to be offensive, to make fun of everyone who gets butthurt over things that are the exception, not the rule. But a lot of those blackface photos they use, those are actual people who were dressing up as characters from movies, or that girl in Hollywood who wanted to go as one of the characters from Orange is the New Black. All of her friends went up as characters, and she was the odd man out. So she went blackface because everyone else either was naturally black or they were that one white girl, and she was the one white girl who didn't fit, so she went in blackface.
Right.
It wasn't to be offensive. It was literally to fit the part of the character they were playing.
Right.
No one gets mad when there's a little black Superman or a little black kid is Spider-Man. We don't expect a little black kid to put white paint on his face.
Right.
But if he did, no one would get upset about a movie called White Chicks.
No, exactly. You would think that now, if the White Chicks movie was reversed, black people would lose their fucking mind. If you had a reverse White Chick, which means instead of you having two black men with all this white makeup on and contact lenses and and blonde wigs pretending to be white, where you switch it to where you have two white guys where they have black makeup, they put brown contact lenses on, and they have nappy wigs like Lionel did, black people will lose their shit. And it's just, I hate that double standard.
Well, here's the thing. Most white people don't find it offensive because it's meant to be offensive. That fits in perfectly with the whole offensive party theme. So like they overly played the dumb blonde bitch fit type of shit. So that's not offensive. That's funny, because that fits exactly what I was describing when you say if you want to make fun of white people, you would dress up as your cousin, and you and your boyfriend or girlfriend would be cousins as rednecks, as inbred, and that'd be funny. It's supposed to be offensive. Yeah, it's supposed to be offensive. That's the whole point of it. So no, like that doesn't bother white people because it did exactly what it was supposed to do. But if black people were putting whiteface on just cuz, that wouldn't bother any white people. Because why is that offensive? How is that offensive? Why is blackface offensive?
Right.
Like what is offensive about wearing black makeup?
Right. Nothing. It depends on the person, because I don't find it offensive at all. I don't find it offensive, blackface or any of that stuff. I have one of my cool guys, Suits Yourself. Suits did a premiere on this. He did a video on it, and he was in blackface. Now his character was in blackface. I thought the shit was funny as fuck. Okay, I was like laughing my ass off, and black people, his black subscribers, lost their shit. And I was like, see, once again I said, when you're a white person who says fuck it, I'm going to be offensive. You got me as a fan. I'm going to be your fan because I like your balls, literally.
Again, nuts. He was doing it to be offensive. He wasn't doing it because he was saying this is what actual black people look like. This is how actual black people are. He was literally doing it to be offensive. It's like an insult comic.
Right.
You don't go to an insult comic to expect a compliment.
Right, exactly.
They're going to call the gay guy.
You don't sit in the front row of an insult comment and be offended that he picked your ass in the front row to goddamn talk about, and use his
exactly.
Use you as
it's exactly the same thing.
Jokes.
There's no difference, which is why white people were not offended by white girls. The only offense any white person takes to it is, why is that okay? But blackface isn't. It's the same thing. You're making fun of stereotypes.
Right.
So that's the only thing people get offended about is the double standard, not the actual act itself.
Right. So we have. Sorry, I muted myself. I know you had to take care of your cough and everything, so I wanted to mute you so you can go ahead and handle your cough. What I wanted to say is, I wanted to basically say that the party in itself was something that, was how should I say it? I wasn't really offended by the party itself, especially when I know the theme. And like you said, where the asshole, the alpha asshole, confronts Lionel. I'm sorry. Let's get back to the token Asian chick, where she's part of the token Asian chick. Is part of the black party, where Lionel comes and all of a sudden Lionel's black now. Lionel has allegiance to the black people, right? So Lionel goes to Sam and says, "What you gonna do, Sam?" And Sam says, "I'm tired of being the angry black woman." Really, bitch? Now you're tired of being the angry black woman? You see what I'm saying? So it was like I was to the point where I couldn't believe that now she has a change of heart. So it was just like, okay, well, what the fuck are you gonna do? So he couldn't get anywhere with Sam. So then he goes to the militant black group. And so now that he goes to the militant black group, they go watch the broadcast on, I think they were showing some Instagram pictures, and they start showing some shit on YouTube that they were actually uploading. And then they was talking about uniting with other ethnic groups. And he's like, well, there's a Latino meeting down this hall, and there's an Asian meeting across the way. And then everybody looks at her like, well, what the fuck you doing here? And she goes, well, you guys have better snacks.
Yeah, it's all about intersectionality and all that, which is what they were doing. He discovers his intersectionality right then and there. I'm gay and I'm black. I get 2 oppression points. I get to speak. They all have to listen because they only have 1. They're straight and black. So he riles them all up. Right.
So when they're outside and he grabs the asshole, asshole alpha, and he force kiss him. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you're right. He sexually assaults the guy, and then all of a sudden, he gets punched out. So so the police shows up, and then in the end, here's how it ends. Now here's how it ends. So it ends where they all are being investigated, and they all are being questioned. Also forgot to tell you that forgot to mention that the president gets rid of her show, but it looks like Dear White People radio show was put back on because of this riot. She's on academic probation. And there's some other punishment. There's some other punishment going on with her as well. You know what I'm saying? So it's like she had some punishment going on with her, and I don't know, Joe, was her punishment lifted because of the show, because of the riots?
No.
Okay.
No, she has the punishment put on because the president knows she set the whole thing up, but he's not going to call her out on it. So the dean knows, but the president doesn't. So the president shuts her down before the riot. He shuts her down for for all the problems she's creating.
Right.
The dean finds out after the riot that it's her who sets it up. That the white kid who's an asshole doesn't send out. He cancels the party. He doesn't put out the invitation. She sneaks in, puts her own password in.
That
sends
she
out
can
the
only
invitation.
use with her.
Yeah, because she can't remember anything.
She can't remember anything, so she used her identification card.
Yeah, her student ID. Yeah. So the dean finds out that it's her. He doesn't kick her out because she just set off a riot. She just created this entire situation. He doesn't throw her out because he's defending a black person. But she doesn't get any of her stuff back. No.
Right. Okay. And so in the end, they let the asshole alpha go. I don't think no one got punished in the end, correct?
Well, no. Well, sort of. The housing becomes segregated, like they want.
Oh, that's right. Yes. So they didn't get the desegregation. They did get the house to be strictly black, like they wanted. Right. Okay.
Yep. Lionel gets accepted because he's embraced his intersectionality.
And he cuts off that well, he didn't cut his hair off. He just took off the stupid ass wig. But in the storyline, it shows that Troy cut his hair into a nice semi high top fade. So now he's looking presentable. He's having better looking clothes. He don't look like a ragamuffin. He don't look like a goddamn bum. He looks very attractive with his new haircut. And now he's embraced by the black community.
But Troy rejects Coco because it's all about image.
Oh, I forgot about this. Troy and Coco had sex, y'all. We forgot about this. Okay, Troy and Coco meet at the party or some shit like that. At the party they were talking at, and then Coco mentioned something about I like white guys anyway. And then you cut to a scene of them in bed. They just finished having sex.
Yep.
Now, how the hell she can have sex with that wig on her head is another subject. But the fact is that they had sex. They start smoking weed together, and then they started.
Because he can be himself with a black person.
Right. And so she's giving him a pep talk. They trying to build each other up. It was so. Oh God, that whole shit was a hot ass mess. Then in the end, Coco tries to be publicly affectionate with him, and he rejects her.
Yeah, because she doesn't fit the political movement that he needs. He's not running to be president of just the House. He's running to be president of the whole student body. So he needs to keep up a good image, and he needs to get white people on his side. So he has the black vote locked down by segregating the House. But now he's going to go find himself a white person in order to unite the campus to win. So he can't be with a black woman who was in the video at the party who caused all the ruckus and got all the white kids in trouble.
She was going to be she was the host of the party, by the way.
Yes.
You know, so that's how it ended. And then, of course, Sam shows, she gets all of this, the riots, the racial shit that's been said by blacks and whites. And then she gets all this and she makes it into her project for her class, her actual documentary. And then at the end, she's all like hunching over like, oh my God, they're going to be upset. And everybody's like.
Yeah, because it's a good class project. So they actually applaud her for her actual quality work. They don't like any of her crap that she's preaching from, but she actually showed what actually happened. They respected it. But at the end, when she meets up with the TA and she's public about it, the black students are now pissed.
Right! Now she's showing them, you know what? I like white man. Here's my white man. And now she's not militant anymore. The militant black kids have rejected her. And it's just, I don't know if they rejected her. I know they're not happy that she's with a white guy.
Well, not just that. She creates all these problems for all the full-blooded black kids, and now she can just walk away into the white world without any issues because she's half. Right. So she can cause all of this destruction for the black kids, create animosity between white kids and black kids, but she's half, so she can wander off into the world. Right. Same thing with Troy. Troy is playing up black militancy to progress, but he isn't going to be with the blacks. He doesn't want Coco. He's going to go on and do whatever he wants. But the mixed breeds are using the animosity they create to push themselves forward in life at the detriment of the black kids. The black kids are worse off because the animosity. They now are living segregated housing. There's no way to say segregated housing is what? Separate but equal? Right. Really? Right. That has ever worked out ever in the history of the human race?
No.
Yeah. So they create animosity. They reduce the quality of education. They destroy property. They hurt people, and then they can walk away because they're mixed.
Right. Right.
So those people who are actually going to live in it now have the consequences.
Right. So
the actual black people are going to suffer because of manufactured offense.
Yeah.
Manufactured racism. Manufactured.
Yeah.
You tell them that they're better off segregated. They believe you, and then you go mix.
What privilege she gets. She got white privilege and black privilege there, Joseph.
Yeah.
So overall, that is what the movie was all about from beginning to end. I think we did a good, because I even saw some things in the movie based upon your analysis and your viewpoint that I didn't even take in consideration. And you know what? I have to say, now that we have shared our opinion about it, I still don't like the movie, but now it's not as bad as I thought I initially thought, because as we break it down, how realistic and some unrealistic points of view, but more of it shows of a propaganda, and it really puts, in my opinion, put black people in a bad light, but it shows the truth, the hypocrisy, the cowardness, the lies, all of this fucked up stuff that the left is known for. This movie shows it perfectly. What do you think, Joseph?
Like I said, the quality of the film isn't there. So as a movie itself, I didn't like it. But the responses I do like. I like how the right is jumping to conclusions without seeing, and they're becoming snowflakes, which is a problem, which I think it's good to highlight early so we can adjust and fix. And I like that the left is going to run into it with open arms and not understand it's bashing them.
It's bashing them bad.
It is. Like I said, how it portrays black people, I don't really know, because I'm not black, so I can't really talk to you.
You're not black?
Yeah. So yeah, no. So I can't really tell you if it's I don't really find it offensive towards black people because I'm not black.
fuck this movie. Fuck this movie. This movie really showed black people to be really crazy. I didn't like it. I didn't like the way it showed us as weed heads, show us how. But like I said, I can't get mad at the truth because, you know what I'm saying, the part of it showing where black people as a whole are not functional mates. They're just not loyal. They don't know what the fuck to do with in a monogamous relationship. That's right on point. You see what I'm saying? You know, I just whatever. But overall, I would say people don't go by the initial reaction from the left. I know when the movie first came out, a lot of people on the left was talking about, oh my God, this is a SJW propaganda, da 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 da. I have to say that this is something you definitely would have to see for yourself and make your own judgment. Don't go by what other people are telling you how you should be offended. Because like I said, how other people were offended is not how I was offended by the movie. Yes. So I think you need to come to your own conclusion and look at it. By the way, I did not, Joseph, how did you see this movie?
How did I see it? I watched it on YouTube for $2.
And guess what, folks? I watched the bootleg version. That's just show the difference between black and white. Because I was like, fuck this movie. I'm not going to goddamn pay to watch this bullshit. But see, guess what I'm going to do now? Because I watched the fucking bootleg version, I'm actually going to go and pay $2 to watch this shit again on YouTube because you brought up scenes that I didn't even think before. I thought it was such a shitty movie that I refused to put any money to it. But now, after our analysis of it, I'm going to go watch it again and I'm going to give them their little $2.
If you also notice, every time black people get ahead, it's because they're cheating.
Yes.
They hack, and they're always worse off because of it.
Yes. Absolutely. Cannot disagree with you more. So that's that. So overall, that's our review on it. It's a long review because we're also mixing in real life with what the shit was displayed on the movie. So tell us if you have seen it. Let us know what you think about in the comments below. Let us know what your critique about the movie is. And do you feel that the outrage, especially from the white liberals, is justified based upon the trailer? Like Joseph and I said, the trailer is really worse than the movie.
Yeah.
But the movie really doesn't show the entire story. And I think that you all should see that it's not worth canceling your Netflix membership over. I have to say that shit. Not this movie. But I would have to say that if you watch it, you'll come to a different conclusion than what everybody else is coming on the left. All right, so Joseph, you have any closing words before we end the stream today?
Yeah, this movie is a perfect example of why you shouldn't judge a book by the cover or an article by the title. You always have to read or watch or do some actual research into something because it's very misleading, just like most things in life. You have to actually dive in to understand it.
Yeah.
And as
I agree.
low quality of a film if it was, it's funny when you watch everyone else's response.
Actually, that's true. I actually found more as enjoyable to watch the outrage of white liberals than I did the actual movie itself. And like I said, this movie, I didn't like the movie, but I have to admit that it's worth me watching again and actually paying for it this time because I'm looking at it more on not an intellectual level. I'm actually looking at it from different eyes this time versus I had expectations the first time where my viewpoint was already tainted by other people's views. Then when I watched it the first time, I was like, oh shit, this is not what everybody thought. And now after discussing it with Joseph, I'm going to watch it again and I'm going to actually pay for it this time and actually look, and I'll probably see some new stuff that I didn't see before. Yeah. So it's just that type of movie. I wasn't outraged about it. I was insulted as a black person, but not because of white shit. It was more about black people. It really just exposed the stereotypes and the hypocrisy and just the stuff that black people don't do, like the whole refer to ourselves as color people. They're just stupid. just stupid shit that somebody who has absolutely no in touch of militant blacks do. But anyway, that's my opinion. My thing is go see it for yourself. It's not as bad as people think it is. It's really not worth canceling your Netflix about, and it's something I think you can look at and understand that this is actually kind of applicable to what people on the left say and do actually. All right, so thank you so much, folks, for watching us and listening to our views. Like I said, let us know what you think in the comments below, and we'll see you next time. Later, taters.